This will be a quick tutorial on how to play CDC in the Walking Dead pinball machine. First off, let's talk about the basics and how the mode works in general. There are 3 phases to the mode. Phase 1 is all about shooting left ramps. Each left ramp is worth 750,000 and each shot afterwards adds 25,000. So 750,000, 775,000, 800,000. That'll add value to the red arrows, which will start to light up after each shot. 4 shots will light up all the red arrows across the playfield. The red arrows will start to light up, and the moment you hit one of them, it will start phase 2. Phase 2 is about shooting as many red arrows as you can. Whatever the value is how many times you shot the ramp before you started phase 2. So if you shot the ramp 3 times, it's 750,000 plus 775,000 plus 800,000. That's the value of the red arrows. You have to shoot the ramp at least 4 times to have all the shots available. If you hit all 4 of the red arrows, it will relight all the arrows again. If you shoot the CDC ramp at any time, it will start phase 3. Once you shoot the left ramp once in phase 2 to start phase 3, it will be one more left ramp and the mode will end. This is the money shot. This is every single value of the mode you've done so far into one shot. If you're still confused on how the mode works, I suggest going to the wiki page on Tilt Forums. There's a lot of information there regarding CDC and all the other modes. I'm going to explain now how to use Barn to make your values weigh more in CDC. If you don't know this, if you play a different mode and finish a mode by just playing it, you can use that shot during all the other modes to build the value. So let's say you're playing Riot. The base value is 4 million, but you've already played Barn. So you shoot the Barn shot once. It says, adds 500,000 to value. So now the Riot shot is 4.5 million. It's simple as that. But with modes that build, it can be worth a lot more than just 500,000. In CDC, there is only one time that you can use the Barn shot to build the value, and that's before you've hit any left ramps. The reason for this is that the moment you hit a left ramp, it lights a red arrow and it goes from left to right. So the first red arrow will go on Barn. So that means if you shoot any left ramps, you can no longer use Barn to build. So the correct procedure of how to build using Barn is you shoot the left ramp once to start CDC, and then you shoot the Barn shot as many times as you want to build. And keep in mind, you have to play Barn beforehand to have the Barn shot available to build onto your values. Okay, now that we've gone through all the boring stuff, how much does Barn build CDC? Each time you shoot the Barn shot, it adds 500,000 to your phase 1 values and 500,000 to your phase 2 values. So for example, your left ramp starts at 750,000. If you shoot one Barn shot before, it starts at 1.25 million. But it doesn't just build that value. It also adds 500,000 to the red arrow value in phase 2. The original value of the red arrow starts at 0, but the Barn adds 500,000 to it. So now that you know how everything works and how to use Barn to build, you have to calculate how much will the red arrows be worth depending on how many Barn shots and how many CDC ramps you've hit. Calculating this is very boring and it takes a very long time and it's very easy to make mistakes. So my dad wrote a program to do the whole entire equation for you. Here's the screenshot of the equation if you're curious. It doesn't mean anything to me, but if you're a computer programmer you might know how to use it. But for everyone else who doesn't know, I put all the values into a Google spreadsheet, which is nice and easy to read, and that's this here. The first column is how many Barn shots you hit. The second column is how many ramp shots you hit during phase 1, and the third column is what the red arrow value was during phase 2. The reason that it only goes up to 4 Barn shots and 6 ramp shots is because if you do any more, you're going to run out of time in the mode. After messing around with all the different values, I believe that 3 Barn shots and 5 left ramps is the best value for tournament play. Because if you do any more, it takes too long, and if you do too less, it's not really worth it. 3-5 is the sweet spot. So I've done a lot of talking about huge CDC values, but I haven't actually shown you anything, and that's what I'm going to do now. Here's a game where I do a CDC worth a lot of points with 3 Barn shots and 6 ramp shots. A good idea for playing CDC is to bring Bloodbath in with it so you can safely shoot your Barn shots. This is what I do here. It also lines up really well because now you're on your second mode, you're already pretty close to Bloodbath. So that's what I do here. I bring Bloodbath in and I'm just shooting my Barn shots during Bloodbath. Another reason to bring Bloodbath in is when you're trying to add a ball, you're also adding time to CDC. Each set of drops adds 10 seconds. So now I'm just kind of surviving in Bloodbath, trying to add my second ball and still trying to make sure that I'm getting that third barn shot in. I add a ball here. I really want to get my next add a ball, and I also still want to work on CDC. So you have to find the balance between playing CDC and playing Bloodbath. So now that I've hit my 3 barn shots, I'm ready to start shooting my ramp. So the moment I hit that ramp, now my barn shot has a red arrow on it. You can see that it's flashing. It's more for a combo, but the red arrow is lit. So now I've hit 3 ramps. 5 is the one I was going for, but I wasn't paying attention and I accidentally hit 6, which actually really helped me out. So now I hit my 6 ramps, and I want to get my 2x scoring. I only have 14 seconds left, so I have to be careful of time. Alright, so I started my 2x, so now each shot will be about 30 million. Shooting the riot shot is also really good because occasionally the pop bumpers will give you the tunnel for free. It doesn't do it here, but it does it very commonly on a lot of Walking Dead, so the riot shot can be a 2-for-1 deal, and the timer pauses in the pop bumpers. So now that I've shot a bunch of red arrows, I'm ready to cash out. My time is at 5 seconds or so. Let's see, what's the time at? Yeah, 5 seconds. My 2x is timing out. I get my inlane multiplier. I miss a shot, but I don't miss it in anything, so I don't lose the inlane multiplier. And I shoot the final shot without 2x playfield for 384 million. So if I were to play that game again, and I shoot my left ramp, my final shot, with 2x playfield, I'm at like 700 million already. 700, 800 million. And now your multi-kills are worth 20 million or more. So for the rest of the game, your yellow shots are worth a ton of points. So it's the gift that keeps on giving for the rest of the game. I think for qualifying, this strat is super strong, especially in pump and dump. You can't get it every time, but when you do get it, it is a huge score and it'll be a top 5 score guaranteed. Before I end the video, I want to give a big thanks to Dino for showing us the barn CDC thing about a year ago. He was the first person in Colorado to find that barn and CDC work really well together, and he showed us how to do it, so big thanks to him.